Hi, my name is Ryan Kruger. I'm the director and writer from Fry Barry, and you're watching the Horror Squad podcast.
Hello, welcome back to the Horror Squad podcast, episode number 204. Tonight, we're doing Sam's very happy birthday pick of When a Stranger Calls and When a Stranger Calls Back. Sam, little birthday girl, what's going on?
Hey, birthday girl in the house.
Happy birthday,
That's
Sam.
me. That's me, everyone.
Happy birthday.
Happy birthday.
Don't ask me how old I am.
20,
30,
25.
20,
I'm
21.
23.
The-
23,
big-
everyone.
The big 2-1.
Nobody likes you when you're 23, though, Sam. You never heard the song?
I guess not. I'm trying to think of what song it is.
What's my age
Gee.
again? Blink-182?
Oh.
What's my age again? It's a Taylor Swift song, 22.
Oh, is it really?
She's a Swiftie.
Oh, no. You guys got any big plans? Or, I mean, once they've listened to this, your birthday would have happened already, Sam, but anything coming up?
We're gonna go out to dinner with some friends at Kowloon, and then we might go do some karaoke or end up somewhere else.
Mm-hmm.
You guys should do a piano bar. Do they have those over there?
They do. There's a couple in Boston, but there's none like close. I mean, Boston's only like a half hour, but yeah. I told Sam, actually, I did mention that to Sam.
No, you didn't.
I did. I said we could go to. It's called Howl at the Moon. It's a piano bar.
Not for my birthday.
Well, no, but we can go. We'll go for it. We'll go sometime.
Mm-hmm.
What are your go-to karaoke songs when you go?
I don't karaoke. I just like to watch people
Yeah.
and cheer them on.
I go with I have a couple. When I Come Around by Green Day is one I levitate towards a lot, and also Hey Jealousy by the Gin Blossoms. Those are like my two that I feel like I can sing decently.
Nice. What was it, Freebird, that you sang with
With David Arquette.
David
Yeah.
Arquette?
Yeah. And our friend Amanda
Right.
McFlander. Yeah.
Classic.
Very.
Are you a karaoke guy, Todd?
No. I'm a sing in private person, not getting up on stages.
Right. Sing in the shower type of guy. Good times. So what are you guys up to? Anything fun this week that you got to do, or no? Same old.
Yeah, no.
Same
nothing
old
exciting
bullshit.
this week.
We got some serious fucking winter storms and shit over last week. It's this morning was a nightmare. Like just so much snow all at once. It was a hell of a drive. I didn't think I could get out of my street, to be honest with you. I like bolted out of my driveway, to try to gain momentum to go over all the snow, to try to hit the one lane of tires that could maybe get me to a main street. But my car like just stopped, and then I couldn't move. So
They didn't plow or salt?
they just didn't have time. It's just too. If there was like a trying to put in, I don't know, 10-inch dump or something, like just.
Jeez.
Yeah, it was crazy. It was a hell of a night.
Are you trying to do American math in your head right now?
Yeah.
What is that in centimeters?
It's like 15 or 16 centimeters. So, and then today it rained all day, and tomorrow it's freezing. So yeah.
Ooh, you get the freezing mix rain.
Yeah, so no showers for me tonight. Yeah, crazy.
I got a football game coming on Sunday. I'm going to go watch. I'm going to go see the 49ers in the Bengals stadium.
Oh,
49ers are my team.
awesome.
So that's going to be good. They're both
That is
playing
Very
okay,
cool.
up and down ball. So should be fun.
Bengals got smoked last week.
They got smoked,
Yeah.
and then freaking
Yeah.
49ers lost a heartbreaker yesterday.
Mm.
To Seattle.
Yeah, I hate that team too.
Yeah, I'm also a Niners guy if I watch football. So yeah, that sucks. All right, you guys ready for a couple of questions?
Let's do it.
Yeah.
Happy birthday once again, Sammy.
Yeah, happy birthday, Sam.
Thanks, Todd. Thanks, Steve.
So you can ask us those questions on social media at the Horror Squad Podcast, or on the Discord, where a lot of cool conversations going in. This morning it was a rough morning. I wake up, I check my phone, and there's this huge thread of people sharing their dog pics on Discord, which was super cool. Just the perfect way to start a Monday morning is seeing all the awesome people and share their pets and their stories and all that stuff. So definitely you guys want to join that, just send us a message and we'll send you the link to that. So we're going to start with the audio questions this week. I like those. So I'm going to give it to my man Chuck for his first question.
What's up, squad? Captain Amazing 85, aka Chuck, with a few questions for y'all. Did any of the squad make prank phone calls when y'all were younger?
Oh yeah.
Quite a bit.
Definitely.
Before there was like caller ID and shit.
We used to try to find our teachers' names in the phone book, and we would like prank call our teachers. That was fun. And then we would prank call like 411. Like we would be like Doug Funny, Bluffington, like stuff like that.
IP Freely, is there an IP Freely here?
Yeah, right. Exactly.
411, would you call and like ask the time?
Man, that was the thing. Yeah, my dad still calls like 411. Like I'm like, do you have a phone? Like you can look it up. You're getting charged. My mom yells at him all the time for that.
He's probably your only customer is your dad.
Right.
Speaking of 411, that was one of my biggest laughs in the movies we're reviewing tonight. Is he calls 411 to make a local call? You're on a fucking phone. You know the number. You just gave the number to the 411. Why don't you just dial it? What the? Oh, it's so weird.
They were keeping those operators in business.
Yeah, barely.
Sam was like, there's like still operators now, right? And I'm like, yeah, there's got to be. Like, I don't know who calls them, but I feel like there has to be.
Dial 9, right? Is it 9 for service here? Or is it 0?
I don't even know. I think it's 0.
I haven't picked up a landline in forever.
I'm gonna call 0 right now and see what happens.
I'd like to know who has a landline.
Should I? Maybe we can edit this in. Let me call 0
now.
I'll put it on speakerphone.
You get charged. FYI.
Do you get charged?
Yeah, I learned that like this week for some reason.
Is your police 911, Steve?
This is an emergency. Hang up and dial 911. For directory assistance, hang up and dial 411.
All right. Well, apparently 0 doesn't work. It's just an automated.
What
thing.
is it? What did they say to dial? Not 911, but what was the other number?
I think it said 411.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You weren't even paying attention.
So 411 will take you to an operator apparently.
I guess if like you're on vacation or something and you need to call like, I don't know, laundromat, you call 411 like, hey, I don't know. Even saying that out loud, never mind. That doesn't make any sense. Just Google it.
Some people don't have the internet, though.
It's true.
It's true.
Just like there's still phone books in use, huh?
Yeah.
But to answer your question, Todd, yes, it's still 911 in Canada as well. So good to know.
That's for prank calling, yeah. I used to also go to the park. There's a payphone there and like do 1-800-boobs or something like that. Try to get like on a sex line.
We used to do that too.
Yeah.
We would do like 3-way calling where like I would
remember?
call 2 people and then we'd prank call and
That's
then
right.
it would just keep getting like 3 and 3 would just keep branching off of the one call.
There's like a great prank call. Man, prank calls were the best. Like I remember in like middle school and high school, there were some great ones. But I remember there was one where someone 3-way called. They did 2 Chinese food restaurants, and like they were like going back and forth, being like, "You called here, no, you called here." It was so funny. But there was some great Arnold. Man, remember like soundboards too?
Yeah.
It was like, yeah.
Who's your daddy? And what does he do? I think my best one though is I called my mom on her answering machine. Oh, my parents still have a landline. There you go. That reminds me for some damn reason. But I called in and disguised my voice and like pretended I was my dad and said I got arrested for kicking his coworker Schmitty for kicking Schmitty's ass off the roof because my dad's construction. And she fell for it and like started fucking freaking out. I'm like, oh my god, what, Todd? Why did you do that? It was classic.
Yeah, and about the same thing with me. We used to call Hooked on Phonics a lot just because it was such an easy number to remember. A lot of porn lines, they just to hear the message before you have to start like paying to get the sex worker that talks to you. And we had this one really annoying friend that we didn't particularly like, and he had a park in front of his house. And when he really annoyed us, we'd like call, we'd order him a pizza or something, and then go hide in the park and watch the pizza guy to like try to deliver there.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, it's just stuff like that. It's a good time. It's a different time, Now it's you can't do shit like that anymore, unfortunately. The good old days. All right, Chuck. Question number 2.
What is the best prank call you ever received?
I can't think of I'm sure I got prank called before, but there's nothing I can think of.
Yeah, I can't think of a time I was prank called either.
Mm-mm.
Yeah, nothing that stands out.
Sorry, Chuck.
I was prank called a lot at my stores. People always wanted to fuck with the sex store.
Mhm.
So, but nothing really stood out. It was always like little
How
kids.
big are your butt plugs?
Yeah, just like stupid questions. It was so obvious. And
Yeah.
and I'd always play serious. Just I'd like answer their question. Eventually they got tired,
Just so they didn't get a rise out of you and win.
Yeah, and the one time that it would actually be a customer, just to make
Mhm.
sure I don't piss them off.
I used to work at a tanning salon in high school, and you talking about that, Steve, made me remember like we would get prank calls about like guys would just call to like ask perverted questions about the tanning beds. And then I worked at Fredericks of Hollywood, which was like a Victoria's Secret, and people would prank call us all the time, just asking stupid questions. But I would just act serious so that way it wouldn't thrill them, and then they're like, this is boring, bye.
Yeah, for sure. Actually, this isn't prank call related, but because my store did a lot of porn rentals as well as sales, I often had to call people to tell them that they haven't brought back a movie and they were like a month late. That was always fun because they'd think it would be a prank call, and if I got really annoyed, I leave a message with the name of the movie, so just to like really push them to bring them back, or at least pay us to cover the cost of the loss. It was a good time.
Did you ever talk to anyone like a wife or a husband and they were like, what? That's not mine.
Yeah,
Must be my husband's.
Yeah, no. If I like got someone, I normally wouldn't say anything.
Mhm.
It's usually leaving messages. It only once did someone come back and was like really pissed off at me, and I'm like, you stole from us. So we had a cop station in the same center. I'm like, do anything and I'll get the cops on you. You like,
Do
I know
anything and I'll kill you.
Yeah, you don't see it that way, but when you steal property and you don't bring it back, that's theft. That's not, it's not a joke because it happens to be sex films, but good times. All right. Question number 3.
Normally, it's stranger danger, but when is the last time you had a good interaction with a stranger?
Remember when Joe tried to make friends with the Halloween shirt guy?
Yeah.
Oh my God. Joe was so sad.
I was sad. Actually, at Texas Frightmare, I met a couple of like really nice people and interacted with them. I met like this guy and his wife. I think he sent in a question over on my page. If you missed, I don't know if you saw it or not, Steve, but he sent it a few minutes ago. But yeah, that guy was like really cool. Yeah, like nowadays it's like cons. When I go to like horror cons, I'll just like interact with like random like horror fans, and that's like probably the best place because you have like a similar interest already, so you can like spark a conversation that way.
Strangers, good experiences, not since I've moved here. Tell you that right now. But back in Kansas all the time.
It's the Midwest for you, girl.
It's true.
I avoid people at all costs, so nothing.
Come on, Todd.
Yeah, no, fact.
But you probably do some nice things for people. Like you have good manners, and then they're probably like, "Oh my God, you made my day! Like, thank you so
I
much."
looked for a lost dog. I mean,
see, that's great.
that counts. No, I don't avoid people. It's just I can't really think of something that really stands out. Neighborhood's really friendly though.
Yeah, I'm kind of like with Todd on that one. I like make a point not to talk to people if I don't have to. But
no, I don't feel bad. I'm gonna go back to my original answer. I avoid people. Right. Steve's going there too.
But I attract people for some reason because people always go out of their way to talk to me, and I don't understand why. They will like comment about stuff in my cart, or they'll make comments about like what I'm wearing, or people just want to talk to me for some reason. And I'll talk to them and I'll be super nice about it, but I personally would never engage with someone out of the blue. It's just not my style. But fuck, like my grandfather is the complete opposite of that. I went to pick him up at the hospital one time where he had spent like maybe 4 hours, and it was in the emergency. There was a bunch of people, and I go to pick him up and he's like talking to everyone on the way out, like, good luck with your hernia. Don't forget to say hi to your kids. oh, good luck at your first day at McDonald's, and just like fucking, he knew everybody. Yeah, he knew everyone in that fucking room, and it's weird to me. Like, to me, I just stay quiet and try to go unnoticed as much as possible.
I do envy the people that have that gift, just talk to the whole room.
Yeah, it's for sure. I remember when he used to live in a small town. He just like stand outside and wait for people to walk by so he could talk to them. He knew everyone in that town, but it was crazy. It was just, I guess some people just love to chat, whereas I like it online, but in person, yeah. Maybe it's because I always feel people have the worst intentions, even though they probably don't. I don't know. All right, and Chuck's last question.
Happy birthday episode, Samarella. Does that mean we're eating cake, or do you have something else in mind for this lovely double feature?
We're having fat-free yogurt.
Lame.
Well, that's what they left in the fridge, so.
Who?
Yeah, that's on my notes. Like the dad,
Mr. and Mrs.
He thought he was so cool. Like,
he wanted Jill to have some.
Oh, that's right.
It's a shit dad.
What about nachos?
Why is he a piece of shit dad, Todd?
Because that's in my notes. He was like, you couldn't leave a pizza, give her pizza money. He's gonna say there's low-fat yogurt, and then call it a day.
Yeah.
Unacceptable.
I mean, I think the fridge was stocked with good stuff, but I think he was trying to say, like, hey, little girl, watch your weight.
Wow. It makes me more of a piece of shit then.
Well, yeah.
What kind of food are you having for your birthday, Sam?
Chinese.
Oh.
I want nachos, though, but I'll have some nachos, so it's going to be nachos.
All right. Next series of questions are from M. Do any of you have any Christmas or holiday traditions that you follow?
No.
I don't follow it anymore, but growing up, we used to, I feel like most people do this, but we would open one present on Christmas Eve. Did you guys do that too?
No.
Yeah, usually it's pajamas my mom would get us.
Mm-hmm.
How sweet, little Totter and his little PJs.
We still do it. She still sends us every year little Christmas Eve presents for me and the kids and my wife.
Do you wear the
Sweet.
PJs that has the button pouch that folds behind on your butt?
I wish. That's how it's so convenient. I got a shit and I just unbutton my drawers.
Yeah. The reason we didn't do that is I spent the 24th with one side of the family and the 25th with another side of the family. So that's why we had kind of both parties. And the way I do it now is I do 24th with my family, and then I come back home for the 25th for my wife's family. So that's, I guess, my holiday traditions.
What's your favorite? Is it like Christmas Eve? Like, what's more fun, Christmas Eve or Christmas Day?
For me, it was Christmas Eve, because that's when I got to see like all my cousins, and that's when I got all the big gifts and stuff. And it was usually at my mom's house, so I didn't have to go very far. Whereas Christmas Day, I'd have to drive. Well, I wouldn't drive. I was a kid, but we'd have to drive like an hour out to my grandmother's house. And it was usually just my grandmother and my aunts and uncles, and they're older. I had a cousin there sometimes, but not always. And I don't know, it just wasn't as fun, I guess. But I was happy to see them, but it just wasn't the same. All right. What would be your plan if you were the babysitter in this situation? So I'm assuming she's talking about when a stranger calls, or I don't know, or calls back.
What would you do, Sam?
I would go next door.
Would you go and grab the kids, obviously?
I mean, I would have to. I wouldn't want to, but yeah, I'd grab them.
So you'd be dead then, because you probably would have went up there to get the kids and he would have killed you.
No, I would have gotten them right after the first call, and then I'm like, you guys need to sleep on the couch next to me. Let me grab some knives, and then we would head over.
He
to
was
the
already up
neighbor's
there,
house.
though.
No,
Okay.
I would know.
You would know. Okay.
I would have all the lights on. I would check for all of the windows if they were locked, all of the doors. Like right when I got there, I would have done a lockdown just to make sure for my own peace of mind.
All I know is if I was like a babysitter, like I feel like, I don't know, like I never babysat, so this would be a better question for Sam, but I would have like went and like with the parents and like checked on the kids first, like right when I got there. Like I would want to see like the kids. Is that just me or?
Well, I could tell you that one of my notes is as soon as someone says check the kids, I would have been right at the fucking kid's door like within 5 seconds, because I mean your whole job is to protect those fucking kids. That's what a babysitter is. And I'm not going to go to the fridge and get a popsicle or fucking like do other, get a drink. No, I'm going to check the kids. It's just, yeah, I mean, I'm probably dead, but at least I died trying.
I wrote down in my notes, my quote or my response to him would have been, "Man, fuck the auto club. Get the fuck out of here." Because I hated that guy in the second one. Like, did you even call the auto club? I got the auto club number. Shut the fuck up, douchebag.
Yeah.
Jeez, dude.
Yeah.
But I mean, she was kind of timid, both of them. So
yeah, she did a good job though. She was trying what she could.
I feel like you would have told him off, Sam, for sure. Like, dude, fuck off.
Yeah.
Like, straight up.
I would have.
Yeah.
You would have been
thought.
scared. No, you wouldn't.
I would have been
You would've
scared, but
so
I would.
scared.
No, I would have been. Joe, you don't know me. No, I would have been so scared, but you can't let them know that you're scared.
Well, that's what she did, right? She was pretending not to be scared.
She tried.
You didn't even call my wife, huh? I hated his voice so much in the second one.
Yeah, he tried to play the wife card because he was like, if I say I have a wife, then she's going to think I'm not a psycho and that I'm a family man.
Yeah.
Do you guys ever get someone weird coming to your door? We talked about, well, we will talk about calling in the next question, but what did you guys ever get someone that like kind of creeped you out to come to your door for a random reason?
Everyone who comes to my door creeps me out. Like, there is no reason anyone should be at my front door ever.
What about if they have an Amazon package?
No.
No, they're not allowed.
There was even, Joe, what was that lady? She was like a census person.
Yeah.
I was so
census.
mad. She buzzed her way up, and I think we let her in because we're like, oh, maybe she's here for someone else, because sometimes people will do that. And so she like knocks on our door, and I'm like, I'm not fucking answering the door. Like, you can go away. So what does Joe do? He answers the door, and he's like giving this woman all of our information. And I'm like, Joe, who is this lady? Like, I'm stupid. Never in my life have I heard of a census person. I don't even know what they do. So he's like giving all his information. And then I can hear her with her little clipboard and her little pen. And she just wrote down the paper. And she's like, is there anyone else that lives here? And I can see her get on her tippy toes. And she's like trying to look in the crack. And Joe says, yes, her name is Samantha, blah, 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 blah. Get away from the front door, lady.
They are very aggressive though, since
They're
she came
so
like
aggressive.
because she came the first time and I wasn't home, right? And you just told her like, no, like leave us alone, right?
Yeah, I was like, no thanks.
Yeah.
I was like, we'll do it online, whatever you're doing.
Mm-hmm. And she came back like 3 other times. They got to know though, I guess, it's very important, the census.
They don't need to be
They have the taxes for that.
They have more important things to worry about.
Does Canada do census, Steve? Is that a thing?
Yeah, so the way they do it is
They're probably
first,
nice.
so
They
first
probably
they
send
send-
a little gift basket to say,
Yeah, no.
just a heads up, we're going to be coming next week. Don't be frightened.
Yeah, no, they sent to you by mail twice, and if you don't fill it out by mail, then they come after you in person.
But why? What if I died and you don't know that yet? What if like the person you're looking for could be my daughter, my mom, and they literally just died, and now you're coming into my house wanting information about them? Like, just relax, Betty.
It's only supposed to be for like demographics and age, and I don't know why Joe's giving.
Well,
full
maybe
work
they
schedule.
should pay Facebook, because Facebook has all that information. Like, there's already people that got all my information. Go bother them and leave me alone.
Sorry to all the census workers listening.
We just lost two
If you're,
fans.
if you're nice, cool. But if you're rude,
No, yeah, they're a bit annoying.
You guys, so one of the very few good things about COVID is I find there are less people coming to my door than there used to be. But I used to get a lot of political parties coming to my door, a lot of people asking for charity organizations, and a lot of Jehovah Witnesses. Now they all tend to call instead of going to the door, and I always thought that was annoying. It's just they're very pushy, like all of them. So yeah, that's probably the most annoying people I think I've had come to the door.
I think the most annoying one I ever had was like the people who want to put solar panels like on your roof.
Oh, really?
And then, like you rent, yeah, and like then you rent it out. I'm sure they've come to your house, Todd, because I know like they used to come to my house all the time. They'd be so fucking pushy. I'd be like, no, and they'd be like, hey, no, are you sure? Let me see your bill, your National Grid bill or whatever. I'm like, no, I'm not trying to
Get out of here.
bill. Like, I know. They're like, no, I can save you like this much money. I'm like, no, like I'm literally like closing the door in their face. And like, man, they're like salesmen are just the worst.
Let me get some Todd tips for everybody on the listening here. If you tell somebody that you're a renter, they'll fuck off because you don't control the property.
Yeah.
So they're like, oh, hey, you want solar panels? Oh, sorry, man, I rent. I don't even know what landlord is. Like, oh,
Love it.
Or also a fun fact too is if someone ever comes to you like claiming they are selling alarm systems, don't give them any information because people like will break into houses because they'll ask questions like, well, do you have glass shatter sensors? Do you have second window sensors? Like if you tell them no, they're gonna be like, oh, I can fucking break it. It happens.
Yeah,
Don't tell them anything. Like, dude, I got all that. Like one time, and to shut them down too. I'm like, oh, actually, my father-in-law owns that business. He installed all of it for me. But okay, so. Yeah. Don't ever give them personal information, especially to solicitors, and especially if they have a hoverboard around the neighborhood. That's really weird too.
A
hoverboard?
Yeah, those little like electric things you stand on.
I've never seen anyone.
Yeah, he's riding that shit with a clipboard.
Oh shit. So if someone comes, I'll just be like, this is like fucking Fort Knox. If anyone tries to get in here, they're fucking not. I'd be like, I got laser beams that just come out.
I got a shark and a moat. Also, make sure, especially for the ladies, say no. Like my boyfriend or my husband, like he's got these 2 dogs in there that like they're not friendly. Like we're good. Just make sure that you give some hints in there. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You never know.
I would always act like that too. I would act like either my husband was a cop or my dad was out in the backyard cleaning his guns.
You can also say you're a cop too. Like obviously don't pretend to be a police officer. That's a felony, but you'd be like, I work in law enforcement. It's good. Something like that. So watch out for those weirdos, guys and girls.
Yep.
Yeah. And if you just want to get rid of someone, just be like, listen, like I'm about to shit my pants. I gotta go. So
Does that work, John?
Yeah, you just like listen, like
okay, like you say that.
Just be like, I just sharted a little, and
next time the census lady comes, be like, I have to shit my pants. I'm white. I'm 33. I gotta go.
She'll be like, but what kind of shit do you feel oozing out of your butthole right now? I have to mark it down.
I'm turtle heading right now. I gotta go.
This reminds me of a story when I was in high school. We were driving down the street egging cars, and one of the guys, he was like outside, so we fucking jumped in his car and started chasing after us. And my buddy had an egg in his hand, and he like smashed it in his hand because he got so scared and it went all over his pants. And then he was trying to escape the guy, and he turned down a dead end, and we were fucking blocked in. So he got out of the car, and the guy's like, what the fuck are you guys doing? He's like, what's all over your pants? He's like, dude, I fucking pissed myself. He's like, you scared the shit out of me. And the guy's like, oh, what the fuck? He's like, go clean yourself up. And he fucking
That's a good defense, though.
It is, yeah.
Man, I would have beat the shit out of myself.
Oh yeah.
We were doing water balloons at Halloween, and we fucking picked the wrong guy, dude. He was like like a metalhead, like big black boots, long hair, shit like that. And we fucking nailed him, like 4 of us. Problem was we were only like 20 feet away from him, and then a fucking red light hit, and there was like 7 cars deep, and we're like, he ran up, this motherfucker sprinting in his big ass boots. Gets to the side of us, just fucking staring at us like he's Satan, dude. We were just fucking looking straight ahead, like we were scared. Man, don't fuck with people, man. It's like you'd never know.
No, I was just telling Sam, actually, this happened at work the other day. This like homeless guy was inside the station, and the guy, once the station closes, you have to kick everyone out. So the guy was like, "You gotta go." So like literally, the dude like was like, "Oh, what the fuck?" Like I was in my work truck, but the guy, I could hear the guy. He's like, "What the fuck?" And like he went out and he started like chasing after the guy, like swinging at him and shit like that. So the guy like ran around, they ran after each other in a big circle. And the guy ran back into the station, and he closed the door, but he didn't close it good enough. So the guy fucking grabbed the door, swung it open, and started chasing after him. And I was like, I ain't getting involved. I was like, because I don't know how crazy this dude is. So the guy finally left, and then he comes up to my fucking car, and he's like, what the fuck is going? He's like, who the fuck are you? So I just like drove away from him, and he chased after my truck, and I stopped, and he's like, roll down your fucking window or I'll fucking end your life. And he started
You
spitting.
gotta call the
like,
cops at that point, Joe.
I did. We did. We called transit police, but he started like spitting on the window and shit like that. It was fucked up.
Transit police, is that like a big thing in the US?
Transit police is like they the company out the MBTA, which is like the train system in Boston. They have their own police force.
Okay. No, yeah. So
Yeah.
here, if you're transit police, no one takes you seriously.
Okay.
They're
They're like a legit police force.
okay. Yeah, we call them rent-a-cops. It's
Yeah. No, I used to think they were, but then I realized like they're like legit. They can arrest people and everything. Yeah.
good times. All right. So M's last question: have any of you ever received any creepy anonymous phone calls?
No, I don't think I have. Nothing exciting there.
Yeah, all my calls are creepy anonymous phone calls. I don't. No one calls me other than like solicitors or, like junk mail. Essentially, it's we had this thing in Canada a few years back where apparently you could put your name on a no call list so that companies couldn't, solicit you anymore. And what do you think those solicitors did? They fucking got that list and started calling those people. Who the fuck's gonna stop them? Like, it's ridiculous. It's just crazy. But no, nothing interesting in that.
Do you guys ever get like random people on Instagram that call you through Instagram Messenger?
Yes, I have had.
You
that
do,
done.
Joe? Who's trying to call you?
Yeah.
I don't actually. It was tonight. I got a call from some fucking dude, and I'm like, he was at like a group video chat. I was like, I don't know any of these fucking people, so I didn't answer it. But yeah,
I'm not famous enough for that for that kind of shit.
yeah.
You don't need to be famous.
Ain't nobody sliding in my DMs. It's a lonely place in there.
It's like, who wants to video chat people? Like strange, like like strangers, like especially like. I can understand.
Probably.
Yeah, maybe.
Yeah, probably. If your answer is just be a fucking dick, that's it. It's like Steve, did you ever play Uno on Xbox Live?
Yeah.
It's fucking nothing but dudes jerking off.
I don't know.
Half of them was fucking dudes jerking off. If you go into like a public room, if you have the cam on, it's
man.
any kind of anonymous video services. Half of them are dudes jerking it. It's weird.
Like chat roulette.
Why?
I was just gonna say we used to do chat roulette at parties. And that's what like fucking 60% of it was just dicks.
Definitely, yeah. Have you ever seen the South Park episode where they go on like chat roulette?
Yeah,
and he's
yeah.
like, oh, dude jerking off, dude jerking off. Oh, look at that, dude jerking off.
Once in a while, you get a woman playing with her tit, and then that's like,
yeah.
It unfortunately got creepy, so we stopped. But
chat roulette was super creepy. Yeah,
good times. All right, our last question for now. We'll have more questions later, but they're directly related to the movie we're watching. It's from Weezerface. Since moving north, I've noticed people here leave their windows open, curtains drawn all night. Do you leave your windows open at night, or are you sane?
I do it. We do it in the summer, but we're also on like a high floor. Mm-hmm. My friends though, they leave their fucking windows open, their doors unlocked, like at their house. And we're like, fucking crazy.
And they have a baby too, and I'm like, you gotta stop it. Like, why risk it? Why? But even like, I think when I'm sleeping here alone, and sometimes I want to leave like our slider open. Like, we don't have a patio or a balcony, it's just like the slider. And so sometimes I want to leave it open just so the breeze comes in and it like cleans out the apartment. But I literally think, I'm like, someone could put a ladder and like just sneak on in. So I'm like, oh, closing it tonight.
Hard to get up there though.
You would need.
People are crazy.
Are you above a
No,
second
I'll
floor?
never underestimate any person.
There's no way. There's not an extension ladder in existence. I don't think that would
What if
reach.
a fire engine came?
There you go. That's about it.
It's
Yeah.
true. What if someone stole a fire truck and then
Or
came
scissor lift.
up?
Or Spider-Man. I don't know.
It could.
Imagine if
Satan.
Spider-Man was a sexual predator. Holy shit.
Yeah.
Satan. Demons.
Satan demons. I mean, if they're wanting to get in, I don't think you have to worry about your slider being open. I think Satan or demons are
What about Santa
finding their
Claus?
way.
You never know.
He gets in there.
Yeah. He does. Sick fuck.
Yeah, I I don't, because I have central air, so it would just be a waste. But if I were to leave the windows open, I'd probably do it on the second floor. If there isn't like any type of like roof under it or like an awning or something. But no, the windows, at least the curtains drawn. I do during Christmas, because then you can see the tree. It's kind of like I kind of use as part of my decorations, but most of the time they're closed, so no one can see inside, just because I find it creepy. A lot of my neighbors have their curtains like wide open, and you can see all their business. Like when I'm going to walk down the street to get my mail, you just see inside everyone's house, and it's just
Like at night or during the day, can you see?
you don't see it in the day so much, but at night
Yeah.
you see totally like everything. It's just it's awkward.
I don't know if this is just like me, but like when you go like on vacation or like rental houses and stuff, do you find yourself being like less safe? Like, because I feel like for example, like when Sam and I went with our friends on vacation in a rental house, like we had the fucking like doors wide open, all the windows open, like the whole like time, and like I never felt like unsafe. But like if I was at my own house, like I would feel super unsafe doing that.
I felt unsafe, so I had Joe sleep by the door, so that way they would kill him first, and I had a chance of jumping out the window.
There you go.
Yeah, I'm kind of like that. It's like I value my stuff more than myself. So if I'm at home, I'm like worried that someone's going to steal my shit. But if I'm on vacation, it's like, worst thing they could do is kill me. I don't know why. It's not very good thinking, but that's kind of the truth. Yeah, Joe's nodding his head. I think he agrees.
I do.
What about you, Todd, when you guys go on vacation?
No, everything's locked up. I got the dogs, I got the handgun, all that stuff. So no.
Handgun.
Don't leave home without it, girl.
Love that. Does your wife know how to use it?
To an extent. She's not gonna get any gunfights or anything, but she can at least rack it and pull the trigger. So
That's great.
But hey, for all those gun people, keep them locked up. You never know who's gonna want to grab it. So
Yep.
Terrible.
All right, so that's all the questions for now. We will have a few more questions at the end of the episode, so stay tuned for that. But now it's time for a word from Deadly Grounds Coffee.
Everyone thinks because you're a zombie, you don't know good coffee. Well, they're wrong. There's only one brew that gets my seal of approval. Deadly Grounds Coffee is my guilty pleasure. The aroma is so intoxicating. It brings all of my neighbors out of the woodwork. Deadly Grounds Coffee. Coffee to die for and zombie approved. It's good to get a little deadly. Use the front door! Oh, they're so disgusting.
What watched?
Yes.
I went to the movies on Thursday.
Oh.
Right.
Last Thursday. I saw Resident Evil, Welcome to Raccoon City, and kind of flew under the radar. Like not a lot of, at least in my opinion, press for it. And overall I enjoyed it, but like, all right, so the plot, okay, let me back up. This is like 100% a horror movie. Like the other ones are like goofy action, kind of like comic booky, don't take it seriously. This one's like legit horror, so I really appreciate them going there. But it was really confusing. Like they tried too hard to link a lot of video games in, like especially games 1 and 2. And it was like full of 90s references too, which was nice. But they didn't commit to a single storyline. Like they should have just like repeated the first game, like you're going to this random mansion in the woods, you don't know a lot about it, and you're trying to figure out what's going on and just do that. But instead they mix like the plot of game 1 and game 2, where you're in Raccoon City with the police department trying to find your brother, but then you got like the mansion and all that stuff. And every time it seemed like they were going to take it to the next level. For example, this trucker, which is from the remake of Part 2 game, is eating a hamburger. He gets bit by a zombie, and like the semi truck crashes, and it's like going towards the police station. Like, holy shit, this could be a great scene. It's gonna crash and it's gonna blow up the police station, and all the zombies are gonna get in. It tips over, has a little fire, and that's it. And the cop comes out and looks at it, and nothing happens. Like, what's going on? Then there's like a bunch of zombies at the door. Nothing happens. Helicopter comes in, crashes. Nothing happens. It's like they had all these cool setups for like really cool stuff. Like I thought, all right, now the movie's gonna take off. Oh, wait a minute. No, now it's gonna take off, and it never did, which is a huge disappointment. But yeah, I still enjoyed it. It's still up there in the series for me, just because the series is so bad overall. Definitely don't go see it in the theater. It's a good streaming watch, but it's like a middle of the pack. I gave it like a 6.5 out of 10, something like that. So yeah, Resident Evil.
Comes out on streaming December 20th. So
Does it?
Oh, nice.
Mhm.
I'll have to watch that before the end of the year. All right, cool.
what about you,
All
Joe?
righty. Sam, you want to talk about there's someone inside your house?
Do I remember that one?
Okay, I'll describe it and then you'll remember it. All right, so there's someone inside your house. This was a recommendation by Steve for Sam, who he thought maybe would be one of her, something that potentially could make her top 10 list for the year. This is a Netflix, I believe, streaming horror movie released this year. So this one is about a group of friends in high school who are being stalked by a killer who wears a mask of the person he's stalking. So every person he tries to kill in this movie, they wear they 3D. You actually see them at one point 3D printing like masks of like each person. So I thought that was actually a really cool thing. And basically like all these people have like these like deep dark secrets, and this killer is one by one exposing these secrets as they go. And basically it's up to this group of friends to try to figure out, who's the killer in this town and whatnot. And yeah, that's basically the basic plot of this one. For me, like, this one was like okay, but it's nothing like memorable to me. It was like a decent one-time watch. But it was just like, I don't know, it was just like too high school-y for me personally. I did love the killer wearing the masks of all the victims he was going after. I thought that was like a really cool, interesting take. So that was like a big positive for me. But other than that, yeah, not something, not the worst of the year, not the best of the year, not just kind of middle of the road for me.
Yeah, I liked the whole mask situation of where whoever the killer was going after, he wore their face. I liked some of like the party scenes and all of that stuff. But I don't know if it'll be in my top 10. But I'm glad Steve recommended it.
I didn't think Joe would like it. I thought you might like it more. It seemed
Yeah,
more
I was
your type of
entertained
movie.
by it. Yep.
Yeah,
I
she
could
definitely liked
tell
it more.
I could tell he was like not digging it, so that kind of took my vibe down. What else is new? I know, but maybe next time I'll just have to watch it something by myself.
Cool. All right. So my first one, I'm still going into my 2021 challenge. I'm now at 91 2021 films, so I should be able to finish it by the time we record that episode. So this week, the first one is on Shudder, and it's called The Advent Calendar. This is a film from Belgium, I believe, so it's in French. It's about a paraplegic girl who she's having a rough time. The world just isn't built for someone that's paraplegic. Like, for example, she goes to see her friend at a bar on a double date, but the people like get annoyed that they have to let her wheelchair through. And it's just, you can tell that she's bummed out about being a kind of a nuisance to everyone. She goes on this double date, and this guy, he looks like he's interested in her, but then it turns out that he was interested in her friend, not her. And just like, she's just bummed out about life. She got into a big accident, so she wasn't always paraplegic. And her friend gets her this old German advent calendar for her birthday, or some kind of, I think, it was for her birthday. And this thing is like super big, and it's got these big wooden boxes, and it's really cool looking. So they open the first one, it's got a piece of chocolate in it, and on the back of the board it says basically there are rules to this advent calendar. One, you have to finish, if you start it, you have to finish it, or I'll kill you. B, if you throw me away, I'll kill you. And C, you have to finish it by December 24th or I'll kill you.
Sounds like a chain letter that I would have thrown away.
Right. But did they like kind of pass it off as some goofy German shit? That's what they say. It's just like, oh, this is just like some funny thing. And so each day she gets a piece of chocolate that has a different effect. So and it seems to like, it's this demon that resides inside the advent calendar and he seems to like pick the chocolate of the day based on how she's feeling. So for example, she'll give her a love chocolate so that she can give someone the chocolate and they'll fall in love with her, or they give her a chocolate for that she can walk for a little bit, and just stuff like that. But eventually the chocolates start having like consequences, like other people can be killed as a result of her gaining something, and if she finishes the challenge she'll be permanently cured of her like being paraplegic, so she'd be able to walk again. It's a very interesting film, very interesting concept. The demon, you see him a few times and he's really cool looking. I liked it when he was on screen and everything, and I think it's a good watch. There's just something missing, and I'm not quite sure how to put my finger on it. It just like the kills were okay, but they could have been a little better. The plot was a little confusing at times, like how the chocolates work, because sometimes she's not eating the chocolate, she keeps it for later, but sometimes she's eating the chocolate, sometimes other people are eating the chocolate. It's just the rules kind of get bent depending on what they're trying to convey, and that was a little bit of annoying. But overall, I'm not sad that I watched it. It was still a very decent film. Like I'd still give it like a 7 out of 10, so it's decent and worth checking out, but nothing too amazing, not one I would revisit. So that's the Advent Calendar over on Shudder.
That sounds good, I think.
Yeah, I saw that one on Shudder. Almost watched it. All right, I finished Exorcist, the book, and it is really good. I highly recommend anyone that likes, reading or horror or whatever. If you want to just know where the source material for the movie came from, I recommend it. I do prefer the movie over it, just because like visually seeing that stuff on screen is just like, it's all imprinted in our minds, right? But like I said last episode, the spider walk scene is like scary as fuck. I think that's the best scene in the book. I didn't like the investigation aspect by Lieutenant Kenderman. His character was just super annoying. And then Father Karras too, it's like they kind of drug it out a little bit too much, like him trying to like investigate if it's really an exorcism, things like that. He kept having this like back and forth with like, do I do it? Do I not? The church isn't going to approve it. And then when he goes to the church, they approve it in like 2 seconds. So like the whole time he was talking about like the church will never do this, it literally was not even a big deal. But other than that, like the characters are great with Reagan, the mom, the supporting cast of like the live-in nannies, things like that. So yeah, if you're part of our book club, finish it up. We got like a week, I think, left before we start talking spoilers. So The Exorcist.
Did they write any book sequels to The Exorcist?
Yes, Legion is part 2, which is the third movie, and then
the third movie. Yeah,
I think it has a prequel, but I don't know if it's definitely not the same writer who did the prequel.
Okay, cool. Alrighty, Sam and I also watch another 2021 release available over on Paramount Plus, and that is Paranormal Activity: Next of Kin, the latest installment into the Paranormal Activity franchise. This one takes a bit of a different, go at it compared to the other ones. Whereas this one, we follow a girl who comes to find out that she takes like one of those DNA tests online, and we find out that she finds out that she has like Amish heritage that she didn't know about her, and she links up with one of her relatives online, and that she is invited to go to this Amish community to she wants to like film a documentary basically, and kind of learn about all of that stuff. So her and a couple other guys go down there, and they're your film crew that we follow while she goes and visits this community, and we come to find that this community isn't exactly what it seems, and I'll leave it at that. This one was actually quite a nice surprise. I was not expecting much out of this one at all, but I really liked the different turn they took. You can only like watch like so many times like the Paranormal Activity thing of something falling off the wall, or just like these little ghostly things, whereas this one doesn't do that really at all. And I would say the closest thing I could compare it to is the marked ones, where the marked ones kind of took a bit of a different take on it. And this one isn't really like the marked ones, but it has some similarities to me in it. But yeah, I actually really dug this one. My biggest negative is I had some issues with the ending a bit, which knocked it down a little bit for me. But overall, yeah, really enjoyed this one. And honestly, it's something I would watch again. Will it make my top 10? I don't know about that. And if it does, it would be, my lower end of my top 10, or higher end, I should say, of my top 10. But yeah, overall, I would recommend this one.
I would also recommend this one. There were some points where I jumped, but it was kind of frustrating though, because I feel like realistically, if I was the main character, I would have left a long time ago. But of course, there wouldn't have been a movie now, would there? But it was good. I recommend it as well.
Now, do you guys feel this belonged in the Paranormal Activity series? Because I didn't. I don't think it had enough of Paranormal Activity feel to it.
I actually think it was a detriment to the movie. I think people are probably going to be harsher on it because it's called the Paranormal Activity movie. If this movie had a different name, I feel like it would be getting probably more buzz. Or it would be getting like a little more recognition of just being a like scary indie movie. But because you attach that Paranormal Activity name to it, people are expecting something different that you're not going to get out of this one. So yeah.
Sam, you feel the same way?
Yeah.
Yeah, so I thought it was weird. You're right. It should have just been called Next of Kin or something.
Right. Yeah.
And yeah, it's weird, but you'd think attaching it to such a big name, one that made millions of dollars, would help it at all, like a little. And this movie came and went, like nothing happened. Like just
it's because it's on Paramount Plus. Like how many fucking people are subscribed to Paramount Plus?
It's on Prime here, so a lot of people probably saw more here. But
yeah, no one's I don't know anyone subscribed to Paramount Plus. Like that's the biggest, I think, negative it's got going for it right now.
Mm-hmm.
Once it maybe hits, stream like another streaming service, or if it, when it hits kind of more physical media, maybe more people will seek it out. But yeah, I mean, I would say even if you're not a fan of if you're a fan of like, cult movies and stuff like that, I mean, this would be right up your alley. So I definitely recommend it for people that are into that. And if you're a found footage nut, like this is one of the better found footage movies I've watched in a while. I mean, bounds, leaps and bounds better than VHS 94 that we watched earlier this year.
That's why I put it on your list, Joe, because it was found footage in the woods with a cult. So I'm like, this is like right Joe's alley. So.
Yeah, it was very good. And there were some goats in there, I believe.
Yeah, that's right. There are some goats as well. So perfect. All right. My last one this week, still 2021. This one over on Amazon Prime, and that's Till Death. So this one stars
Megan Fox.
Thank you. It stars Megan Fox. So she's cheating on her husband because she's just not happy with him anymore. But her husband wants to make one last ditch effort to kind of save their marriage. So he brings her on their anniversary to a secluded cabin, and he like seduces her and tells her that he knows he's been a dickhead and he wants to make things right. And this is just the first step to doing so. So she kind of reluctantly accepts it, and they have sex. She wakes up and suddenly she feels that something on her arm. Turns out that she's handcuffs to her husband, and he's kind of just sitting on the bed, and he says a few things, and then he pulls out a gun and offs himself. And she is now stuck in this secluded cabin attached to her dead husband. And he made a point to remove all the knives and tools in the house that could make her sever the arm so that she can get free. And to add to that issue, he also hired 2 hitmen with the promise of giving them diamonds to come to the house and kill Megan Fox's character. So not only is she stuck tied to her dead husband, but she is now also being hunted by these 2 guys that are trying to kill her. It's a pretty typical cat and mouse movie. The majority of the film is spent just her hiding in the bad guys chasing her. It's not really my type of film. It gets old quick. It's just basically her going from situation to situation where she's almost caught, but then something happens where, somehow she doesn't get caught. Or for example, she's like about to be caught, but she happened to have the keys to the car, so she turns on the alarm, which makes them like somehow turn around and go the other way. It's just, it's one of those things. There's nothing too new or interesting in this one. I actually preferred Gerald's Game, which kind of had a similar theme, except she's handcuffed to the bed. That one made more sense because she didn't there was nothing she could do. She didn't want to sever her own arm. So, it made sense that she couldn't get out. Whereas this one, there are plenty of ways to get that arm off. I would have found a way to fucking get that hand off or that arm off quickly, even without a knife. I'd smash it to pieces where you could just slip it off or whatever. So that was a little she's dragging that fucking corpse around for the first 45 minutes of the film when she could have easily just gotten loose. But nitpicks aside, and Megan Fox is okay in it. I didn't know the other actors, but they all did their parts pretty well. It's well shot, well filmed, and all that stuff. Just not a movie that I'd revisit. But if you like that kind of movie, like cat and mouse type movies, maybe this one worth visiting. So that's Till Death over on Amazon Prime.
I agree with you, Steve, with it being similar to Gerald's Game. But I don't know, Megan Fox is a good actor, but this movie, I was just like, oh my God, you are so horrible. Anytime she's in a stressful situation, she's just she puts on this deep voice and she's like, fuck. And it's just you would be panicking more. And also she was in an abusive relationship. So that's why she started cheating on her husband. He was a dick. And she was afraid of him pretty much every single day that she was with this guy. But yeah, I was I watched it for Megan Fox, but I was like, girl, what the hell?
Yeah, I don't know if she's good enough to be a lead, to be honest with you, because she needed to carry this movie. She's pretty much the one you follow throughout the whole film.
Yeah, this one was a little bit harder.
I can't think of a movie that she's the lead in that I like, to be honest with you. She's a good side character in a lot of movies, supporting role, but as an actual lead where you have to follow her the whole movie, I don't know, maybe there is one, but I haven't seen it.
All right, that's a wrap. Thanks for listening. Have a good night. Trivia? Anyone? Trivia? No?
Yeah, just gotta pull it up.
Game number 47. Currently holding on in the first place with 115 points. Steve 111, Joe 107, Sam 76. This is week number 47, game number 47. Who would like to lead off? I will.
All right.
Who's ready? Everyone?
Ready.
Yeah, go
All right. Thank you, Kayla. I'm going to use 2 out of 3 tonight. The third one about George Romero was too easy. I'm not going to give Joe or Steve or Joe a free point. Screw you. Stop trying to make them win, Kayla. Just kidding.
Mm-hmm.
All right. In Child's Play, what year did Charles Lee Ray die?
84.
84 is on the board.
88.
88 is correct.
I didn't get to guess, Todd.
Sorry. What was your guess, Sam?
I was going to say 82.
82, incorrect.
Well, that's embarrassing.
Joe, you're up.
All right, I'll go. Okay. This one is from our movie tonight, When a Stranger Calls.
Oh, boy. Better not be a name.
Yeah, seriously.
I'm going to channel Megan Fox.
I said that to Sam earlier. I was like, I should just do name one character from either movie. I was like, I don't even know if I could do it. But
Jill.
Yeah. Well, what's her last name?
Johnson.
Is it Johnson, really?
Point for Sam.
Okay, but really, here's the question. What in the first movie? What is the name of the bar that they frequent? What do you say?
Trenchies.
Incorrect.
Trashies.
Incorrect.
What is it?
Frenchies.
Frenchies is incorrect.
Darn.
Menchie's?
I'm
Menchie's
close.
Menchie's is a frozen yogurt.
Trenches.
Yeah, I know.
What'd you say?
Trenches.
No.
Tiki lamps.
Am I close?
Burning.
Todd was very close.
Oh, really? Burning tikis.
No. The correct answer is Torchies.
Torchies. I was
Yeah.
close.
You were close.
You were close. Personally, I would have given it to Sam, but Joe's
No,
heartless.
it's fine.
I'm just kidding.
And
I won't.
well,
I don't need
Trenchy,
those.
Trenchy's is different.
Reggie,
I
It's
don't
not
need
very close.
Joe's pity point.
pity point.
All right. So this one, name the movie from which this quote is from. Listen to them, children of the night. What music they make.
Rocky Horror Picture
Yes.
Show.
Hocus Pocus.
Fuck.
Dracula.
That's correct. Dracula.
Oh, very good.
Thank you.
From the original.
Yep.
Wow, good quote.
Mhm.
Samsonite.
All right. These questions come from Kayla.
Kayla.
What was Army of Darkness originally going to be titled?
Evil Dead 3.
Oh,
That'd have been
What'd you
awesome.
say?
Evil Dead
Cheeky
3.
bastard. Book of the Dead.
Evil Dead Rise.
I feel
I guess we're all wrong.
yeah.
You're all wrong. Well, I
I
was
like the
like, how do you
silence.
pronounce this word? The medieval dead?
Oh,
Medieval.
Medieval Dead.
Medieval?
Dead.
That's a cool
Yeah.
title.
Oh, that's how you spell
That's a
medieval?
cool title.
Yeah.
Yeah, makes sense.
Army of Darkness is cool
The
though.
medieval dead.
Yeah, I mean,
Medieval.
yeah.
All right.
You guys were close.
From Kayla once again. What date does the beginning of The Crow take place on?
93.
92.
Do you
Looking
need-
for like a day.
oh,
September
like September-
7th.
Okay, September 7th.
October
October
31st.
31st. Shit.
Everyone is incorrect. The correct
Mm.
answer is October 30th.
Oh.
All Hallows Eve. That
Yeah.
makes sense. All right. My next one also comes from Kayla.
Kayla.
Once I pull it up here. Righty. Name the film. She describes the film, and you have to guess the name of it. So this film is from the late 70s and is about a group of friends that get attacked by mannequins brought to life in a museum.
Tourist Trap.
Yeah.
That is correct.
Yay.
Good job.
Great film, too.
Great film. Mhm.
We should review it.
One of band's best.
I've never seen it.
Ooh, perfect.
We should definitely, yeah, that'd be a good one to review. It's a good one.
I thought we had.
It would have
but
been
I
a good one to
guess,
do with House of Wax if we didn't have a
Right.
original. What'd you say?
We
Steve?
talked
Sorry.
about it in the Charles Band interview, but I don't think we.
Yeah, I
ever
was gonna say
did a full
we
review on
discussed it for I think it was my watch and we all discussed it, but it's been a long time. I
Mhm.
don't remember.
Yeah,
It'd be definitely one I'd revisit. All right. What is the subtitle of The Omen 3?
The Legacy.
No.
Fuck. The box set is like 20 feet away.
Damien's Revenge.
No.
A
for you.
newborn.
It's all for you, Damien.
No.
What did I say?
I don't remember, but it wasn't close.
Wasn't The Legacy, was it?
No, yeah, you said The Legacy, but
Did I? Oh. The Omen Reborn.
No.
Darn.
you guys give up?
Yeah.
It's The Final Conflict.
Oh, that's with
I-
fucking Sam Neill. Dang it.
I've never seen any of the
Jurassic
sequels.
Park.
Really?
No.
Damn it. Oh well. All right. This is gonna be a Todd original here.
I think it's Sam first.
Oh, sorry, Sam.
Oh, it's my turn. Thanks, Steve. Good looking out.
No problem.
All righty. Be on your toes because you guys are all going to know this one.
Okay.
The 2004 Dawn of the Dead remake takes place in what state?
Oh,
Pennsylvania.
What?
you said Pennsylvania.
Pennsylvania.
Pennsylvania on the board.
L.A.
California on the board.
Just disqualified because you said a
That's
city.
what I was thinking the same fucking thing.
California.
Wisconsin? I have no idea.
Wisconsin.
All righty.
Probably Todd that
Steve
got
gets the point.
Seriously?
No.
Steve gets
Really?
it.
Fucking
Yeah.
It sounded familiar, but
Wisconsin. Fucking Wisconsin.
the mall's actually in Toronto.
I know. Have you been to the mall?
I have.
Is it like
Oh.
recognizable or is it? not really?
It's just a regular mall. You know, it's not
Yeah.
as iconic as it
Is
doesn't
it
play
actually
an
the
iconic.
Crossroads Mall? like in the
No,
movie?
it's not. No, I think it's abandoned now. Actually, if
Really?
I,
That
yeah.
sucks.
Okay.
Oh.
You Todd.
Okay. In the movie Grindhouse with all the fake trailers,
Mhm.
I want the title of the fake trailer that Rob Zombie directed.
Werewolf Women of the SS.
That is
Yeah,
correct.
that's right. No, Joe on the fucking Rampage night.
Yeah.
Big three spot. Shoot.
Yeah,
Right on your
baby.
butt.
Actually, did you guys? I read this. I don't know if it's actually true that multiple countries had their own like commercial for.
No, I believe that. That makes
and
sense.
the one in Canada. So if you guys have seen this, then you would know if it's real. Was Hobo with a Shotgun.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it was in ours.
Yeah,
Okay,
that was
yeah,
on
see.
there. Yeah.
Yeah,
They made a
I don't-
movie. They made a full
they
length
did make a
movie. Yeah.
that was apparently the Canadian contribution to that.
Nice.
Have you guys seen the movie?
I haven't seen Hobo with a
Rutger
Shotgun.
Hauer.
No. Yeah, it is.
I have it on Blu-ray, but I never actually watched it. I don't think.
I have it on.
Is it
the,
worth a
DVD.
watch, Todd?
It's. I mean, yeah, it's goofy.
Yeah. Okay. All right. I think it's to me.
It's
last
better than
one.
Machete Kills. I fucking hate that movie.
Oh yeah, that was-
Yeah. The
Garbage.
first one was all right though.
Was it?
The first Machete.
Machete was pretty
decent.
good, but Machete Killer
Yeah.
was yeah.
I remember I watched Grindhouse in the theater, and I
I did too. Yeah.
Me
I had
too.
to shit, so that was the fun
Oh really?
fact.
No, I didn't
It's
have
like-
It was like a 3-hour movie.
Yeah, it was
3-hour
long.
movie. Yeah.
There was an intermission for us though.
There was. Yeah. Mhm.
Was the intermission with the trailers though? Was that the whole gimmick?
No, they did an actual intermission.
They had a
like the-
countdown. Yeah.
Oh,
It was
they
like a
did?
10-minute intermission.
Yeah.
Mm.
From what I remember. hmm
I was probably shitting during that time, so I don't know.
Probably. Mhm. All right. In Night of the Creeps.
Ooh.
What time is it according to Detective Cameron?
Christ.
Oh, I was gonna say Thrill Me.
10:30. I have no idea.
11:53.
Fucking what time is it? Time to kill some zombies.
Todd would
Full
be the
time.
closest, as it's not an actual time.
Oh really?
It's Miller time.
Miller-
Oh my god,
That's hilarious.
that was a misleading question. If you,
Hey, blame Kayla.
yeah. Yeah.
Tool time.
What state?
Tool
is this
time,
movie
yeah.
in? The state of your mind.
Yeah.
That's not
I
that.
got
Like
you.
All right. Last question, still from Kayla. What is the name of the killer in Wolf Creek?
Oh fuck.
Gosh darn it.
Oh, that is wrong.
Okay.
It
Oh
should
gosh
be.
darn it. Mister. Oh gosh darn it.
It's like a normal name.
Yep.
I can't remember.
James.
Mitch.
Close.
Yeah, you are
Which is
close.
good.
I
Mick?
can't remember though.
Oh, it's
Oh.
yeah.
Oh,
Sam's
Mick,
got
yeah.
Sam's got it.
Sam's got it. It is
Damn
Mick.
Good job, Sam.
No point. I was just
No,
guessing.
you got that.
Oh, you
Oh,
got it.
oh, thanks.
That's guessing. That's what we do. That's the whole point of the game.
All right.
Does he have a last name, Steve?
Taylor.
Mick Taylor.
Second one's pretty good if you guys have never seen it.
I don't think I have.
I don't think I
Brutal.
No.
have.
The first
it's on
first one
TV.
is good though.
Yeah, my mom took me to see that like I think Christmas, day after Christmas.
Oh, that's fun.
She walked out.
Oh, really?
Because it was kind of like mean brutal if you guys like stabbing that girl
Yeah.
in the lower back and stuff. Yeah.
All right.
But my mom used to like cry at my like my homemade horror movies, like if I died in it.
Oh,
She'd cry, my mom.
oh, that's so sweet.
Yeah. She'd be tearing up if fucking I'm like, oh my gosh.
Oh, I love that. All right, my turn.
Mhm.
All right, give me the exact date
Ugh,
that
Oh, God.
that When a Stranger Calls was released.
Exact
Oh,
date.
Lord.
Yeah.
October 18th, 1979.
We got October 18th, 79 on the board.
September 17th.
I don't even know. I'm waiting. It's not like I have to. Let's go June 16th, 79.
All right, you guys were all close, but Steve was the closest.
Oh.
I lost my answer.
So does Steve get a point?
Steve gets a point. Yeah, it was October. Where'd you go? It was like October 26th, I believe.
Pretty close.
All right. Halloween movie. Nice.
Yep.
All right, that wraps it up. Not a big change numbers wise. I'm at 116, Steve 113, Joe 110, Sam 77.
Woo woo! That's what I'm talking about.
We have, let's see, next week, what, 3 weeks? 2 weeks left.
2 weeks left. That's it.
Ooh, it's still close.
That's
Yeah.
it.
Yeah.
Close. All right, let me pull up these bad boys real quick.
I'm tired. I just got really sleepy.
Tired too.
We're getting to the end.
All right. First movie, When a Stranger Calls, 1979. A psychopathic killer. Okay, yeah. Psychopathic killer terrorizes babysitter, then returns 7 years later to menace her again. Psychopathic. That doesn't sound right to me. Wouldn't it be like psychotic killer?
Psychopathic?
Yeah. Unless I
Oh.
can't fucking read, but on IMDb.
I don't
Psychopathic,
think you're
yeah.
right.
It's better than
it's a real word.
synopsis.
Okay,
It's better than
well.
synopsis I had on my TV.
People talk. Yeah, I mean, the first like 20-25 minutes are iconic. It opens with our babysitter going to this house. The parents are in a rush to leave, so she's like, hey, the kids upstairs, they're already in bed, don't worry about them, blah blah blah, we'll be home late. And then she immediately starts getting phone calls, like usually, at first it's silent, then it's like, have you checked the kids? And then it starts getting menacing. And then downright annoying, the ringing constantly, like, answer the phone or unplug it, lady, just get with it. But soon our character, like, she starts freaking out, right? She's home alone with these kids. The guy's like tormenting her online, or not online, on the phone. And she eventually calls the cops, and they call back and say, you need to get out of the house. The call, it's coming from inside the house. And that's like the whole twist, right? Turns out that there was a killer in the house, and he ended up killing the kids with his bare hands. He gets away, but then it's like shortly caught afterwards. And then we have a big ass time jump 7 years later, where the killer has been in prison. I believe a psychiatric hospital for the last 6-7 years. He escapes, and we follow a private detective as he tries to track him down. Yeah, and that's pretty much the movie. Disclaimer, I'm pretty sure this is the first time I've actually sat down and watched this movie from start to finish. Super familiar with like the opening scene. I think everyone is, and it's kind of like, I'm sure if I would have saw it fresh, not knowing anything, it'd be more effective. I don't really think she's a great actress to pull this off. But that being said, the 20 minutes is awesome, like tension-filled craziness. You also have to consider it's like landline time. It's not like caller ID or internet or texting, anything like that. If your phone line doesn't work, you can't call anybody. So that's pretty scary as well. So overall, enjoyed it. Did have quite a bit of issues with it though.
Quite a bit of issues, Todd.
Yeah, I have some.
Well, I can't wait to hear them.
All right, I'll go. So I don't think I'd ever seen this one like in its entirety. Like, obviously I had seen like maybe some bits and pieces of the beginning because I remember that part. But yeah, I was kind of shocked actually watching this one because I thought, like, going into it, this was just going to be her like in the house the entire movie, like, trying to like going back and forth with this guy. So when 20-25 minutes in, like, that part ends, I was like, oh, I even looked over at Sam. I was like, where does the rest of this movie go from here? And I actually enjoyed where it went. Like, I really, really enjoyed this movie. I really dug, obviously the first 20-25 minutes is like fantastic. Like, I loved that scene. And they're not afraid to go there. Like, him murdering the kids and shit. Like, and the way the cop describes it later on, like where he did it like with his bare hands and no weapons and shit, it's like chilling. And then they, you get this time jump, and we follow the killer for a long period of time out on his own, which, there could be a little bit of a plot hole here, because I feel like there would have been like a severe manhunt for this guy, and he's just kind of walking around, with like no one like just knowing. I guess like it was in the 70s, so, but you would think he would have been plastered all over TV and shit like that even back then. But I really enjoyed following him around, because at times I feel like they did sort of make him into a sympathetic character, which was weird, but it kind of worked because he was just so kind of nerdy looking and like very like fragile looking. But then they describe the shit he did, and you're like, whoa, this guy, like, he's dangerous, And I liked the woman he's stalking. Like, she just seemed like kind of like a tough broad,
Tough broad.
Yeah, like,
tough older lady.
Yeah, I just love the bar scene with them. That whole scene is great.
Dude, I wanted her to say, fuck off, man. Get the hell. No, I'm not
Yeah.
want your fucking coke.
Yeah.
And good,
I mean,
good that dude beat the shit out of him. Fuck him.
Yeah. I mean, which is like, I did like feel bad for him at one point, like when he was getting the shit beat out of him. I'm like, oh man, I was like,
No,
this is
fuck
brutal.
him. I'm glad he cried like a little girl too when he's getting beat
No,
up.
yeah, like as I was like, I shouldn't be feeling bad for this guy, but I kind of am, which I thought was like good because it kind of conflicts you in ways and stuff. And I really enjoyed the cop character that's going after him. And yeah, and then man, like we'll get into it, but man, the first 20 minutes of this movie and the last 20 minutes of this movie are so fucking good. And the middle part's good too. I mean, it's not as good, but I still enjoyed it. So yeah, I mean, overall, good movie.
Okay, so I kind of remember the first one, but not like it was pretty much like a first time watch for me. And I agree with everything that Todd and Joe has said so far. The opening part is scary. I thought she did a great job acting. Like I don't know what Todd's talking about with that, but whatever. What else? Okay, Kurt Duncan can go suck a butthole. He literally is the worst. Do not feel sorry for him, Joe. He does not know how to take no, like as an answer. And him just bothering Tracy the whole time. And I was glad that he got beat up. I was like, he needs to get beat up again because he didn't learn his lesson. And then especially like at the end, it's really scary when after the time jump and Jill and her husband are back home and the husband's like, oh, I got my gun here. Nothing's going to fucking happen to you. I'm going to protect you. And does he protect her? I mean, not really, but sure. And then Kurt's like throwing his voice around the fucking room and you're like, where's he at? And he's like next to her the whole fucking time. That is so frightening. I was like, if that ever happens to me, I'll just kill myself. That's all I have to add for that one.
Yeah, I feel like Todd, I saw bits and pieces of this over the years, but I never actually sat down to watch the whole thing. So it felt like a first time watch, even though the first scene, for some reason, I remembered pretty vividly, but the rest of it, I didn't really remember much of. I personally didn't really like this movie. I found the pacing was just completely off. Like sometimes it would be really interesting and sometimes it'd be really boring. I liked, like Joe said, the scene in the bar. I thought that was really interesting, and I liked seeing Kirk Duncan there like trying to interact with the real world. I thought that was the most interesting parts of everything. Like outside of that first 15 minutes, that was like the most interesting parts of this movie. So I thought that was really cool. I didn't love the PI character so much though. He just like wasn't an interesting character. Like you see cops or PIs in movies all the time, and this one had nothing special about him. And in fact, when he would be chasing the killer throughout the movie, is like watching two out of shape people chase each other, which just wasn't interesting at all. Like they're like struggling to go up the stairs and start struggling to go down the stairs.
Steve.
I know, but it was like it's a movie, it's not interesting to watch two out of shape people chase each other for a bunch of the movie. And there's just some weird thing, like some weird choices that this movie makes. Going back to the first scene, the guy calls like how many times to say, did you check on the children? First time she does nothing. Second time she gets a popsicle. Third time she gets a drink. Fourth time she does nothing. Like she's the worst fucking babysitter ever.
Because the parents told her not to wake up the kids, so that's probably why she didn't check on them.
No, come on, that's no. Like she can open the door and not wake them up. It just didn't make sense to me. And then I love how they fucking carry out the bodies of the children in like fucking garbage bags over their shoulder. Like what the fuck?
I was noticing that too.
It's so like weird. I just chalked that up to like just money issue. Like I don't know if they just didn't have the equipment to film a scene where they're bringing them down the stretchers and shit. But I thought that was an interesting thing. And that fucking woman that he's chasing, just like, come on, like he follows you all the way to your apartment, and not only do you not tell him to fuck off, but you go like answer the phone with the door wide open, practically inviting him in. And what does she do after? Once he fucking walks into her apartment unwanted, she apologizes to him. She's like, oh, I'm really sorry about the way we treated you at the bar. I'm like, fuck off. Like this guy could not be more invasive to your space. Like it just didn't make sense to me why she just didn't like destroy him right there or maced him or something. I don't know. It was just the whole movie had some really like some kind of weird decisions. And I mean, my biggest gripe against it is that I was bored sometimes. Just there was nothing going on for long periods of time, and that just isn't interesting, you know?
Yeah, I agree. And it bugged me too. Like, why was she so apprehensive of even talking to the private detective? Like, when this guy was clearly gonna rape you, gonna kill you, something. He's clearly off, and she's still like, I'm not gonna help the cops. He was. Look at this fucking guy. Why weren't the real cops out looking for him? This is a private detective that the cops hired. That what? This
Like
guy murdered two kids.
subcontracted. Yeah. You know, like,
Looking for a murderer?
right.
Like, come
Yeah.
on.
Well, the dad.
No, it was
dad
the
hired
dad
him.
that hired him as the PI.
Yeah.
But then the PI kept going to the police station though to get information from them. Like, why aren't they doing anything? Like, let's go,
Well,
boys.
that's yeah. That is.
Well, I
like,
thought
the
his friend
biggest
delayed
plot hole.
everything to where they wouldn't know. Like he had a head start on everything to where he could kill him. Hopefully, that's why. Like at the very end, they're getting the reports and they're like, "Should we add this to his chart and all of that stuff?" That's why they start talking about it.
Yeah.
I think.
All right.
No, I mean, but he's a psychotic killer, and he literally escaped a mental institution. And I mean, if that happened, there would be a fucking like
It wouldn't be over
it'd
till
be
they
a man.
caught him.
It'd be a manhunt. There'd be like a massive manhunt. So
Like,
But
forget
it's the
Brian
70s.
Laundrie, whatever the
People
fuck.
do that all the time.
That's right.
yeah, but it's just like yeah, I don't know. Like that is the biggest plot hole in this movie. It's just I don't know. Like he's walking around like in like a massive city. Like
Yeah.
someone would have recognized him, you know, because there would have been wanted posters, or he would have been all over TV. So like, I just don't know how he would have been able to get away for that long. You know, I don't know. How long
Okay,
this
so you
movie
guys are questioning this movie, but I'm somehow supposed to believe that Avatar's a real situation.
It is.
Well,
so.
she brings this up because we were watching Avatar
Avatar's
yesterday for the
so
first
good,
time.
Sam. You shush.
Wow.
She only caught like a half
So
hour of
fucking
it.
good. Is this not a ripoff of Black Friday though? They did the
Totally complete.
Callers in the House 5 years prior to this, and like they pretend it's like groundbreaking. Like, well, Black Christmas did this already, and it was a better movie. It's like, it's good, but I was bored too, and like it's a completely different movie from those 20 minutes. And I think I was reading it was originally shot as a short film, and then they expanded it because it was good, but. There's only so much you can do with that.
Is that idea original any? Because that's like an urban legend in general, right? The urban legend has to be older than Black Christmas, right?
True, but it's like beat for beat.
Yeah.
You know, like
this movie's beat for beat. The the opening scene anyway is beat for beat that urban legend. Yeah. But I mean I don't know. The ending, like, man, like two scenes that stick out to me, obviously, like when she's opening the door and you see his shadow. Like that is scary as fuck, like creepy as hell. And then when he's fucking in the bed with her, like I was not expecting that. I really wasn't. Like I was expecting his eyes to peek out of the closet.
I thought he was like, going to be in the closet.
And then when he ends up being inside the bed, I'm like, oh fuck! Like I was like, oh, that was great. Like
He's I'm right next to you.
Yeah, that was just a great
licking her earlobe.
Yeah, that was just a great scene.
I'm going back to it. I'm sticking by it. I don't think she's a good actress, and she has very expressive eyes, and I think she's good with that. But her voice,
it's her voice,
and her delivery was like very not realistic, especially in like fucking restaurant. Like, well, my kids is like.
I'm just used to like Carol Kane, I guess, at this point. Like if I didn't know who she was, I might have been a little more critical about her, but yeah.
And can we just talk about that the PI's answer to stopping the guy is to throw a dart at him? Like, what the fuck is that?
That would hurt.
Yeah, man, it's just like, come on.
That's his murder weapon, though.
That's his weapon. That's what he brought. He brought a dart. Like,
so stupid.
But they have poison in them, so they were gonna make him knock out, and then he was gonna kill him.
Boy, I sure hope I don't miss.
Right?
My out of shape ass.
Right.
I think this movie would have been more memorable had he actually like killed her kids too, like at the end or something like that, or at least killed the husband.
Maybe he did. I know you have a theory about part 2.
I do, but it's not that. But it's actually quite a boring theory, so don't get too excited for it. But no, I think if he had like if he had killed her kids, like it would have been way more impactful and just brutal. So I kind of wish they went there, but for whatever reason they decided not to. I mean, they killed the first batch of kids. Why not kill these ones too? And it really would have fucking, I think, like been
I have another nitpick.
heart-wrenching.
My other nitpick is there's no way in hell she would leave her kids with a babysitter after the trauma she endured. 7 years later, she's leaving her own kids. I didn't buy it. I didn't buy it at all.
7 years. I mean,
It's fair. It's a fair.
But 2 kids got murdered on her watch, and she almost got killed. It's like you think she would be fucking.
But she's trying to move on with her life, right?
Yeah,
like 7 years
there has
later.
to be a point
so-
where you have to try
guess.
to move on.
Mhm.
I suppose.
Yeah,
So
but I get what you're saying.
I have a question for you guys. Maybe I just missed it because I was bored and like maybe drifting off a little bit. At what point did the killer start going back after Carol Kane's character? Like I didn't see the transition from him just randomly walking around town chasing other people to him going back to the original babysitter. Was there a scene that I like fell asleep on or missed that had like a natural transition as to why all of a sudden he decided to go back after her?
Well, she
Yeah.
made the newspaper for like an accomplishment for work.
That's
So I
what it
think
was?
I think he
Mhm.
found her
He
name.
saw the
yeah.
newspaper. Okay, I don't
You
remember
saw her
that
in the
scene.
newspaper. Yeah,
Okay,
it's right where they.
And then he
it's
googled
right.
her and found
Yeah,
her.
yeah,
address.
right.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
Called the
Yeah,
operator.
It's like
411.
immediate. It's immediately when they reintroduce Carol Kane's character. Like her friend comes over and congratulates her about some award she wins, and then they pan over to the newspaper and show like the article. So that's like you are to assume that's how.
So we didn't see
finds her.
the killer actually reading the
No.
Okay, see that's what I probably missed.
So
is-
Steve's like, oh, so there's another plot hole. Cool. Let me mark that down.
I figured they probably alluded to something that I just missed, but
Yeah.
Mhm.
It
it's
was
just
brief.
it was abrupt.
Yeah, because
Yeah,
he
it
was
was
definitely
brief.
reading the paper in between.
I'm
Stopping
sure.
the,
yeah.
the bar
Yeah, when
girl.
he was icing
else
those
is he doing?
bruises.
He's using it as a blanket, Todd. So-
Exactly.
He puts it over his head. He's like,
Right.
"What?"
Todd. Oh.
Is that Tim Allen?
They should have had that scene. On to the next one.
Yeah. Are we rating this or are we gonna rate them both together?
I don't know. Sam, it's your choice. Your birthday.
We'll rate it separately.
Okay.
All right. Sam, you lead it off then.
All right. So, I mean, yeah, it has its issues, but I enjoyed it, and I was like, this is so cool, like watching an old movie from the 70s. And also real quick, when Joe and I started watching the first one, like the internet was messing up to where the first 5 minutes it was just playing music and it wasn't even playing any of their talking. So you're just seeing them mouth everything while she's like getting situated and the parents leave. And it's like that scary fucking music and it's like horrifying. And I was like, oh, I kind of wish it was like this instead of hearing them talk. But anyways, I'm gonna give this one 6.8.
All right. Yeah, I mean, I think I'm probably gonna be the highest on this based from what I'm hearing from everyone. I enjoyed it from beginning to end. I really did. I definitely there's some plot holes in here and some issues, but I don't know. Like I for whatever reason was able to kind of overlook most of them because I was just enjoying the ride on this one. So yeah, I'm going an 8. I really like this one.
An 8? Should I bump my score up? I was gonna do an 8, but I was like, I still gotta talk about the second one. I'm gonna go with 7.2.
All right.
Someone's got to be the asshole this episode, and it might as well be me. I really didn't like this one. I've said in the past, my biggest cinema sin is being bored. A movie can be bad, but if it keeps my interest, then I'll rate it a little higher. But this one, there's times I was just like, oh, I just want to get to the next movie already. So I give it a 4.5. I really didn't like this one.
4.5.
Yep. Other than the
Alright.
first scene and the scene at the bar, I just didn't like the rest of it, so
All right, Steve, we're still friends.
until you hear my next one.
Don't you dare.
Ooh, don't you fucking go to a sequel like that. But
Oh God.
yeah, I'm like a 5.9 out of 10 or a 2.5 on Letterboxd. It's just kind of boring. Iconic in the beginning, sure. Rip off, sure. But like Joe's good point, though, it is an urban legend, so you can rip that off all you want. But yeah, largely bored, and I just did not like the lead, and that's kind of a problem when she's a focus. So when a stranger calls back, a young babysitter all alone in the house with 2 children asleep above is bothered by a stranger. Unfortunately, the phone's dead. That's a stupid fucking synopsis too.
You sounded just like him,
I did?
the guy.
I was throwing my voice. I don't know. Anyway, yeah, this is set, what is it, like 12, 15 years later or something like that from the first one. And we have a new babysitter, Jill. She's adorable. I'm in love with her.
Julia.
It wasn't, who am I thinking of? Who's Jill?
Jill's the original babysitter, but Julia's the brunette,
The new one.
the new babysitter.
Okay. I'm in love with Julia. She's very mousy, and you just want to give her a hug because she's so small. She's in a house too, similar setup. She's a babysitter, and now she starts hearing a voice outside. The guy comes up. He's like, "Hey, I got my car's dead. Can I come in and use your phone?" And she should have immediately said, "Fuck no, my dad's in here," and he's pissed, but she didn't. He's like, "Can you just call AAA for me then? Take my information." So she fucking does. But when she goes to call, the line's dead, and now she has to be like, "Oh shit, do I lie to this guy or do I tell him the truth? The line's dead." She chooses to lie to him, but naturally he's a weirdo, so he's very pushy. He starts saying like, "Can you just call my wife? It's been an hour, no one's come. Like, are you not calling them?" Trying to guilt trip her into opening the door. It's messed up. But then stuff in the house starts moving, like her little notepad disappears, and then we're like, "Where the fuck is this guy?" So like, yeah, pretty much like beat for beat, kind of the same for the first one, but in different setting, different thing. He's like throwing his voice around, stuff like that. And then it ends like the killer's arrested, right? Pretty much right there. And then we fast forward a little bit, and now she's like at college.
Is he arrested or is he escape? I thought he like escapes, like he doesn't get caught, right?
We don't really know. If I remember, I don't think they specify what happens to him. He's out though, so
he's out. So I just assumed he got away.
Yeah, he's not arrested. He doesn't get arrested because they're still
away?
trying to decide if it's 2 guys.
Oh, that's right.
The dad
Yeah,
shows up,
you're right.
doesn't he?
Yeah.
Okay, that's right. But fast forward, she's in college now, and she returns from class or something, and she notices that one of the kids from her babysitting, his shirt is hanging up in her closet. She goes to the cops like, "This isn't my shirt. Stuff's been moving around my apartment. You guys need to take me seriously." They don't, because it's kind of like, they take it as face value. This girl is just like losing her marbles a little bit. But then in comes Jill, right, from the original. Yep. She's like battered women kind of counselor. She's like a really strong character. She used her I guess traumatic event from the past, and now she's growing. She teaches women how to stand up for themselves. She takes her seriously, and then the PI comes back from the original, and he's like, "Let's fucking do it, round 2." And they're trying to figure out who the killer is, where he is, and trying to protect this girl at the same time. Sammy, take it.
Alrighty, so I have to tell you, this movie, I was telling Joe, like when I watched it a few days ago, I literally was like sucked back into time when I was a little kid. I was probably like in 2nd or 3rd grade. I don't even remember, but I could tell you like the house that I was in. I could tell you like where because it was my friend's house when I watched it. We were watching it with her parents, and I could tell you like where their furniture was. I can remember like what their entertainment stand looked like. It was so crazy. And so I just felt like I was like back in time watching this movie. And I always talk about the scene. Well, there's a few scenes in this movie that are quite horrifying. And I had only seen this movie once because of the scenes that are horrifying. I was never able to watch it again. I was like, man, it was so scary. Like I want to watch it again because it was horrifying, but then I also don't, because I just want to remember how scary those scenes were to me. So I'm glad that I finally was able to go back and revisit it. And I love this movie so much. The character of Julia, like, I just love her. Like Todd said, she's mousy, and she's just like such a little like pipsqueak. Like she's just so fragile, and you don't want anything bad to happen to her. And like she's just literally trying to live her life after this traumatic event happened. But going back to when she's in the fucking house and the guy is calling her, oh my God, like when she looks on the fridge and like the parents' note is gone, and she looks in her notebook, the whole note page is gone. What else there was something else. Oh, with the back door like being open, like it was just scary. But anyways, So I love Carol Kane in this one. I love that she came back as like an advocate, trying to help other women go through what she had some experience with. And I love that she brought John into it because he was kind of like a father figure for Jill, I feel like. But man, the guy who is the creep, William, what a fucking weirdo. Like, what the fuck? So scary. So the scene that like gave me nightmares growing up is when Julia ends up shooting herself, which obviously she didn't shoot herself. I think it was what's his face. But don't you think that, Todd?
Actually, no. I thought she tried
You
to kill
think
herself.
she did try?
Yeah.
Okay, well,
She's
fine.
very like, damaged.
You think?
Which is sad because she's so mousy, and the whole hospital scene that you're gonna allude to right now is even that much more rough.
How come like her bed was out of place, the lamp was out of place, like right when they went over there, as if she got attacked?
I always took it as like he was upping his fucking with her game, like it started small, like moving little things here and there, and then she got back and it was just like everything's fucked and she
Okay.
couldn't take it anymore. That's how I interpreted it.
Yeah, I could see that too. So the scene that gave me nightmares was where she's in like a coma from the gunshot to the head, and her face is like bandaged up and she has like bruises on her face, and Joe fucking missed this whole scene. I'm like, kill yourself now. Like, there's no point in even watching this movie,
He
Joe.
didn't watch it at all?
Because the glare on the TV, he was sitting on the wrong side.
Joseph.
So it's the scene where William, like, you can see him in the shadow in the fucking hospital room, and he's just standing over her. And then Jill comes in, and then he goes back, and he just goes like, he pans out of the camera view like slowly. And Joe, no reaction of Joe. And I'm like, Joe, you saw him, right? And he's like, what? Where? And I'm like, oh my God, it was so creepy. He was right there. Joe's like, I didn't see it. And I'm like, it's fine. You still have a chance to be scared. Hang on. So Jill's like talking to her, and she's really she's like, I hope you can pull through. Like, I know you can do this. I'm here for you. I know you're strong. You can do this. And then she leaves. Then fucking William walks out of the shadow. He's like looking over her bed. And then all of a sudden he just starts like kind of patting her in the stomach area, and then like he keeps doing it harder, and each time it's harder and harder, and like her head jolts and like her body's bouncing on the bed. It is so scary. But I'm gonna say, when I was little, I really thought he was like it was not as hard as I remember. I was like, that's it. Like I thought I thought
he's beating the shit out of her.
I did too. And I was like, I remember this being, I mean, it's still scary and creepy, but I really thought he was like pounding her. But yeah, it's still very scary. And Joe was like, why is he doing that? I was like, because he's fucking weird, Joe. That's why.
To me, that confirmed that she shot herself and that he didn't do it, because to me, he was hitting her because he was mad because now he can't stalk her anymore.
Yeah. Yeah, I thought that too. But anyways, I really love this movie so much. It's such a gem. I have such a nostalgia to it. I don't know what else to say. I'm excited to hear what everyone else is going to say besides Steve.
I'm with Sam on this one. I like it a lot better than the first one. It does have issues, yes, and they're still like there from the first one, but there's 3 scenes that I love. The first opening scene I think is better than the original movie. And then the hospital, like you just talked about, he's just a fucking prick.
Yeah.
And then at the end, dude, like where he's fucking sneaking around in body paint, it's like so goofy that in other movies it could be played as a perfect example is Robert Downey Jr. Sherlock Holmes. He does the same shit, and then it's funny in that movie. But this one is like he's in a thong, he's in a man thong. Yep. I'm like, this dude is committed. He painted his ass, dude.
Yeah.
So like, holy shit, how long was he in that apartment? Just like, oh, I'm looking at the fucking bricks. Oh, yep, I gotta put a little. This motherfucker's committed to his game.
Well,
I gotta
Todd, because he had those fucking Polaroids, and I did not remember those Polaroids when was the last time you saw this movie?
Like years ago.
Yeah, and so I did not remember him having the Polaroids. And then when they fucking show the pictures of the brick wall and the piping, I'm like, I cannot wait. And I was like not wanting to run it for Joe. I was like, I can't wait till we get to the brick wall.
the The thong though, it gets
The
me.
thong. Yeah, you see like a little glimpse of his little
Yeah,
nude
you're like,
thong.
oh. I just imagine him in a mirror, spreading his ass a little bit and painting it. Like, oh, I gotta match that brick on my asshole. But yeah, you know what? I think the best character in this movie is a stripper, dude. She's like, I liked your act. Like the only
I know.
person that ever said anything nice to him, and her tits are hanging out. It's like, poor girl. But his ventriloquist dummy is creepy as fuck. So get off the stage, dickhead. Like, so many red flags. Like the bar owner didn't.
Yeah.
Hey, let me see your act before I let you go on the stage with your fucking creepy ass doll. Overall, no, I liked it a lot.
Okay. So yeah, I mean, I didn't really know what to expect. The only thing I knew about this movie is that it came out 14 years later from the original, and that I believe it was it was like a made-for-TV Showtime movie.
Yep.
I believe. So I could tell right away that the quality was down a little bit on this one. But I knew going in, okay, this is like kind of a made-for-TV movie. So my expectations were curbed a little bit. I appreciated the opening scene because they didn't do it. They rehashed the first one, but they made it different, which I thought was cool. I'm glad it wasn't like a phone call again. They actually like tried to do something a little different, which, didn't make it boring. So it made it, more interesting. And, I was even like, second guessing. Because I was talking to Sam while that scene was happening. I'm like, oh, maybe like the guy at the door is really like a good guy, and the killer's like really in the house. I was like, so it was kind of kept me guessing. So I really did enjoy that scene. But to me, so I did like overall, I liked this movie, but I think it is a step down from the original for me personally, mainly because for the killer. He's fine, but I just found the killer to be more interesting in the first one than in this one. Mainly because like at times it comes off goofy, like Todd said. I mean, and Todd was saying that, it doesn't come off goofy, but to me, like he came off goofy from time to time. So that was like the biggest sticking point for me. But, overall, like it wasn't bad. And, I thought it was, decent.
Yeah. I didn't like it, which isn't surprising because I didn't like the first one either. So the first scene I thought was very good. I had a lot of good tension. I did find it went a little bit long. Like they could have cut that scene, I think, at 5 minutes, and it would have been just as effective. They're like we have to watch her go through the full phone call, like fake phone call, stuff like that. Like we didn't need to see all that and stuff like that. But it was, I thought, a better first scene than the original. Because she's checking like the back door and stuff like that and all that stuff. I absolutely laughed when she finally sees like the guy and he like puts his hands up almost like a old school zombie as he's attacking her. I thought that was cheesy as fuck. So that made me laugh. And then the rest of the movie, I just wasn't interested. Like it's a lot about her feelings, and she's talking to Carol Kane's character, and there's a lot of scenes that really weren't going anywhere, and that I thought was kind of boring and kind of just, okay, let's get to it. But every time we saw the killer, which is really only reintroduced to the film like in the last act, really, and I thought it would have been a better service to the film if we had seen him throughout the film in some way and learned a little bit more about who he is and why he's doing that. He was just there, and they don't give him enough of a backstory for me to really care about what he's doing. And I kind of wish that, like the first film, we kind of got a sense of what kind of person he was just by watching him do stuff and stuff like that. Now we get a little bit of it at the strip club when he's doing the ventriloquist act, which I don't know what fucking strip club has like a talent show. That is beyond me. I just don't understand that at all. Super weird. And the poor strippers who have to like get dressed in the bathroom, like the toilet right there. Super weird. But anyway, yeah, it was so out of place to me. That whole scene it's like, okay, we have to show that he's a ventriloquist. Why at a strip club? It just didn't make sense to me at all. Like, why not in any other setting? And although he was really creepy, every time he was in the dark and all you could see is his beady little eyes, I love that. Like, and I thought that was really cool. What the one scene I did know about this film was obviously the painted scene in the apartment. I think that scene is super effective, and I wished almost that they had done stuff like that throughout the film. Like, what if they reveal it at the end that he's there, but what if throughout the whole film you see him in the background but never mention it? Just put him there and see if people notice it. Or if they don't, then when you rewatch the film, you can point out, oh shit, he was in that corner in the apartment, or he was in that scene in Carol's apartment. I thought that would have been a really cool film.
What if you fart though?
A little black paint against the wall.
Paint splat.
Where's that paint splat come from?
It just leaves his thong.
Right. So that's really my biggest beef, is that there's no character development at all with the killer. And he was the most interesting part of this movie to me. So I just didn't love it.
I felt like I don't know, like I just felt like it didn't ramp up the tension enough to like a lot. The beginning scene, absolutely, but after that, like I just felt like there wasn't like even like the great scene like with like him being on the wall there at the end. Like I felt like there just wasn't enough like build up to it, you know what I mean? And then like when he does finally attack her, it's fucking over so quick. Like there's no like she could have been running around the house or something, like make it last a little longer, but it just like ends so like fast that it just like I don't know, like it just like I wanted more like out of that whole like ending scene.
I don't know much about ventriloquists, but I know that they can talk without moving their mouth. But can they project their voice in a way to make you feel that they're in another room? I don't know about that. Can they? Mm-hmm. I've never heard of that, but
that's what I have always heard of. Maybe it's just this movie has like traumatized my brain into thinking.
Maybe, yeah.
No, I think they can alter their voice. There are certain ones that are really good. I think that can alter. I believe it's believable that they could alter their voice enough.
To me, it defies science. Like,
this guy's that good. He should be like making money off it, not creeping off.
Yeah, seriously. Mm-hmm. And why was he doing it?
No, but that's the thing. Exactly, like you assume he's just a creeper, like because we never find out like why he's doing it. Really, in the first movie, he's just psychotic. Yeah, they're just both psychotic, really. But yeah, like I don't know, like I kind of wish they somehow the killer survived from the first movie, right? Because he gets shot, but technically you could survive a shooting.
Yeah, but the actor died the year after.
Oh, okay. That's
the movie's dedicated to him. The second one.
Okay, I didn't know that. Yeah. Gotcha.
R.I.P.
R.I.P. indeed.
And what do you guys think? So I read on IMDb that the director doesn't like this movie because they changed the ending. What do you guys think of the original ending where she doesn't survive her shooting? He thought that made the final act stronger by her not surviving her suicide.
Julia,
because it gave bigger stakes to everything. I think that's great, but he wanted a happy ending, which I thought was a little cheesy. Like she got shot in the head and she just wakes up and smiles and shit.
It's like a 38 too. That fucking
right. Yeah.
What about the mullet? Are we bringing that back?
I loved it. I thought it was.
It actually is back right now with younger high school kids.
It is,
yeah.
But hers
I agree. I think she probably should have died. Yeah, it would have been more impactful. Mm-hmm. But someone mentioned this. What happened to her family? Like Carol Kane's family. So my theory,
in the
like,
questions I was going to ask.
Right. No, go. All right. Yeah. So that's what me and Sam kind of thought. We're like, well, it's 14 years later. Her kids are grown up now, so I guess they don't need to be mentioned. And then her and her husband just got divorced, I guess. Like that's kind of what we.
Because every time the fucking dog barks, you freak out and shit.
Wow.
I mean, if I was the husband, I'd want to get out of there too. I'd be like, girl, like you're fucking up my life here.
Who else did you fuck that's gonna come over here? This motherfucker sleeping on my pillow.
Yeah, so actually that brings us to the questions that we had left over from the question period. So Mishu just asked that very question. So they bring back Jill, and obviously her experience is what led her to be a counselor to help others. But what happened to her husband and kids from the end of the first movie? Yeah, I think they're just not around.
Yeah, I think kids are grown up. She probably got a divorce, and she's just like dedicated her life to helping other women.
Yeah.
I
And
think
they're
she
like
has too much baggage for him.
right. And we watched this back to back. And if it was like 14 years later, I wouldn't even be thinking about like what happened to the husband and kids. So they're probably just like, whatever.
Yeah, absolutely. And Weezerface asked, why would Julia leave her curtains open while she slept if she thought she was being stalked?
Fair question.
How high?
Stupid.
I thought she was a high floor.
She was.
high, yeah.
Yeah.
So that's to me is why, because I don't know, I guess she felt that no one would come.
Did they explain how he got into her apartment? Did I miss that?
No, it's magic.
Magic. She has like
Spider-
3 deadbolts.
Spider-Man.
Yeah.
But didn't he go through the window? Like, because the
Well,
window's
yeah, but
open
they
at
just
one
said it
point.
was a tall building, right?
Well, I don't know. He's a creeper. Like, he probably was able to get a hold of like her key and like make a copies or something. I don't know.
Did you guys ever watch those 2 X-Files episodes where the guy would like
Yeah.
squeeze into really tight spots?
It's that little shit from the Green Mile that plays him.
Yes. Scary episodes.
It is. Yeah, he's like he can go
What's
into
it
like
called?
tight
Tombs.
vents.
Edward Tombs.
Edward Toombs. That's right.
Yep.
Yeah, that was
That's
a
what
great
he's doing.
episode. Actually, that's early episodes too. And the last question we got was from Ben, and Todd touched on this. Maybe discuss the relevance of Black Christmas in relation to this. The call from is coming from inside the house horror movie.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I mean, similar, definitely, but at the same time, very different movies. Like the only thing similar really is the killers in the house like call thing. But other than that, they're 2 completely different movies, I think.
I prefer Black Christmas personally, but
I prefer
Yeah.
Black Christmas as well. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
yeah. Although I could see how this one could be scarier to people because she's alone dealing with it, whereas in Black Christmas,
Mhm.
there's like a group of them dealing with
Right.
what's going on. So,
Mm-hmm.
but you can listen to our thoughts on Black Christmas in last year or the year before, we did a triple threat Black Christmas episode.
Last year, I think, right?
It might have been
It was 2
last
years ago.
year.
Actually,
Oh.
Maybe
No, it was last
2.
year because the new one came out last year.
did it?
I thought so.
Yeah, maybe.
Yes.
Which I still haven't seen.
Because I
Don't
thought we did
bother.
Silent Night, Deadly
Okay.
Night last year, and
Was
P2.
it?
We did a few
Well,
Christmas
I
ones.
don't know.
We did our whole month was Christmas movies last year. I
Oh,
remember
so-
that because we did Rare Exports and we did Silent Night,
Ugh.
Deadly Night.
Yeah, I'll look
I
it up
can't
while
remember.
we're giving our final ratings for this movie.
We have any more questions for Steve? Or is that,
Nope,
was
that's
that
all
it?
the questions we had. So thank you everyone for the questions.
Hit me with that score, Sam.
Alrighty.
Oh, she hears somebody. Oh
Ventriloquist
my God, who's that on the
voice.
wall? Oh my God, he's coming out of the wall. Sam.
It's Joe in a thong.
Can you imagine like the guy's painted up as Raven? And I think it's her. It's just some guy. Like I see him walk away and I see it thong.
That's creepy.
I'm scared now.
I told you he's in your house. He's probably in your closet.
Probably.
Or
He
you
probably
go to the bathroom and he's like painting himself to the fucking
shower
curtain.
curtain. Probably.
you see
Probably
his boner.
Probably painted as one of the Halloween blankets in the pillow back there.
Dude, that'd be so funny if you attempted to do that, Joe. Like just sit on the couch.
Oh my God. Okay.
Do you think if he should have gone full nude though, and did a wiener painting too?
But it was made for TV, so
Oh, true.
But it was on Showtime.
Yeah, it was
though.
Showtime though, so they can get it. I mean, they had all the boobies.
in the 90s.
Oh, yeah.
I don't know. I didn't
They
have
did have
Showtime,
boobies.
so
All right. I'm gonna give this one. I don't know. This is hard. What are you gonna give it, Todd?
I have it as a 4 out of 5 on Letterbox, which
Oh,
is like a 7.9 out of 10,
Okay. All
somewhere
right.
somewhere around there.
I like how you never commit to the like the one above. You're like 7.9, 5.9.
Well, because an 8
Commit to the
sounds
8,
different
Todd.
than a 4 out of 5 sounds different than an 8 out of 10. You know, it's like
It's actually the
I
exact
don't
same thing.
That's
Shut
exactly
up.
what it is.
No,
Yeah,
it's
that's
not. Shut
exactly
up.
what it is for
No,
me.
it's not.
4 is an 8. Yeah.
Really? I feel like it sounds
Yeah.
better. 4 out of 5 than an 8 out of 10.
I enjoyed it.
It's literally the same thing.
Not to me, it's not.
All right. I'm
It's a
gonna
B
give
plus,
this a
which
B
is also an 8.
plus. Okay. What would be an A minus? No, just
9,
an A.
probably. A
Yeah,
9.
I'll give it a 9. I'm gonna give it a 9.
Wow.
I mean,
good
there's
movie.
a lot of nostalgia to it, so I'm like connected to it that way.
Just those 3 scenes make it.
I
for
get
me.
it.
Yeah. Like watch it in the dark. It's scary. Watch it
His
by,
eyes.
by yourself. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. I found the first one to be creepier. I mean, obviously the end scene and the beginning scene. I mean, just like the first movie, I think those are the strongest parts of the movie. But yeah, I don't know. I just didn't feel a connection to the killer like I did in that first one. But I still think it's a watch. It's definitely like a watchable movie, and it's a decent sequel. No doubt about it. So yeah, I'm gonna go 6.5.
I liked it better than the first one because the first one I really only liked the beginning, whereas this one I like the beginning and the end and parts of the killer. But still not a fan, not something I'd revisit. I give it a 5.5.
This is like the first time we've been very split in
Right.
I feel like in a long time, like on movie, like we got half and half basically on these ones.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Mhm.
And I looked it up. Black Christmas was episode 103 in December 2019.
Oh, you're right.
Okay, so it's 2 years ago. Wow.
We were wrong. I thought Black Christmas came out
Yeah,
earlier.
2019.
Or later.
It was definitely my worst on my worst of the year list.
Carrie Ellis is in there, right?
Yes.
Yeah, pass.
It's pretty bad, man. It's pretty bad. It makes the other remake look like a 10 out of 10.
I like the remake actually. Yeah.
I like the remake too,
Black
actually.
Xmas
Yeah.
with his yellow eyes. He's creepy.
Yeah. It's a good one.
Are we doing a Christmas poll for the next episode?
The one after.
We're doing Chucky next episode.
Ooh, I gotta start watching those things.
Yeah.
Same. I'm like 5 episodes behind, so I gotta catch up.
Shoot.
I watched the finale today.
Oh.
Where did I find it at?
It's actually the entire season is streaming on Peacock.
Oh, okay.
If you have Peacock.
No, I'll figure it out.
If not, you can probably it's probably on demand because it's a USA show, so you can probably watch the entire series on demand.
It's just called Chucky.
Yes. You can probably bang through it pretty quick. They're like 40 minutes each episode without commercials. So it's only 10 episodes. So yeah. And then we're doing then we're gonna do a Christmas episode.
Right. Our episode actually comes out Christmas Eve. So
Oh, how exciting. Very exciting. I already got my pick.
yeah, me too. So looking forward to that episode. And then our year end.
Year ender.
Yeah, finally.
It is. It is.
Yeah, I'm not doing another 100 next year.
I have I have no idea what my number one's gonna be. I really don't. I'm between like 3 movies right now, but I don't know which one it's gonna be. I think I know yours and Todd's.
Yeah, my number one is set in stone, I think, unless something really surprises me at the end of the year. But my 2 to 5, actually 2 to 10, is all up for grabs at this point. It's just even like 2 to 5, I can swap them out with each other and wouldn't feel any differently about it. Like they're all
sucks.
pretty good, but not the best.
Yeah, I'm a little
Do you have
bummed.
yours, Joe?
No, I mean I have no idea. I mean, I'm just gonna once we get close in a couple weeks, I'm gonna pull up my letterbox and look through. That's why I literally on my letterbox I only do horror movies. It's just for this show basically, so I know like everything I've watched for the year. But yeah, I mean I think I know my top 5. 5 through 10 is going to be like I have no idea. There's so many like not middle of the road, but like high or above average ones that could make the list, but nothing, there years past, probably none of them would have made the list, honestly. So we'll see. I'm a little bummed. We're not gonna be able to watch Antlers because I don't think it hits streaming until January. So.
Wrong. It hits streaming the same day as Resident Evil, December 20th or 21st.
Oh, okay.
So
all right.
That's why I think my list can change because I have Antlers, Last Night in Soho, and The Night House that I'm gonna watch on like Christmas night.
Nice.
And Boxing Day. So there could be a last minute like
switcheroo,
big switches in my list. But I keep a list all year, right? So it's like that it helps me, I find, because I can. That's how almost I rate movies now by this point of the year because I have so many movies seen. I could say, did I like this better than this? And I kind of just put it there and I know what my ranking is. So, but there's a lot of shit in there. Whew. Oh boy. 100 movies. There's a lot of them that were pretty bad. So.
Yes.
All right. So Sam, I hope you have a great birthday.
Yes.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Appreciate it. Thanks for watching these 2 movies with me, everyone.
It's our pleasure.
Should I watch the remake? Anyone?
Fuck no.
No, it's bad.
No, I would guess no.
I've only
Oh,
seen
you
it
haven't seen
once
it? Okay.
in the theater. I kind of want to watch it again, but I don't remember it. It was all right.
I haven't seen it, but Sam told me in this one it's what I imagine the first movie to be, where it takes all completely inside like the house on one night.
Okay, that makes sense. That's kind of what I thought the first movie would be.
Yeah.
All right.
Maybe I'll watch it.
I'm like interested since we watched both of these now.
Right.
Yeah, it's like you might as well, you know.
Complete the set.
Yep.
I mean, you're not gonna see no painted thong, I'll tell you that.
No.
That's a shame.
Or boobies.
All right, guys, that's going to wrap up another episode of the Horror Squad podcast. Thank you so much for listening. Be sure to follow us on Instagram, check out our Discord. It's always a good time over there, and we will catch up with you next week. Thanks for listening. Bye.
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 That thong, 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 thong.